Hello for December the 30th. Luke 2:41 to 52. We're still having the joy of the season. Can you hear the bells? Today, this weekend, because of the gospel, we call it Holy Family. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. When I look out there, I see all you parents, and are there any parental problems? Or do you just live in a family, you and your kids, all perfect? Perfect family, no problems. Every day is just a joy. I don't believe that. I don't think it works that way. And I don't think it worked that way with Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Sometimes we preach, we say, why don't you have a family like Jesus, Mary, and Joseph? Do it perfectly. Well, I don't even think theirs was perfect. But yet, some of their virtues are worthwhile imitating. When I read this gospel, I think of some of the early problems. Jesus, just about a teenager. He sort of does his own thing. He wanders off. He's with all his friends or relatives, and he couldn't care less about his parents, Joseph and Mary. And he just is having a good time. He's just about that teenager. And then Mary and Joseph say, where is he? Oh, he's with them. Oh. So they look for him a day. They look for him 2 days. And 3 days they find him in the temple. And Mary goes up to Jesus. You didn't hear this or say this in Scripture. She was madder than hell at Jesus. Jesus, why have you done this to us? Your father and I have been looking for you with great anxiety. Why have you done this to us? As I say, I think she was madder than hell. Jesus comes back with a remark, sort of like a teenager remark. Well, why were you looking for me? Did you not know that I must be in my Father's house? The older translation, didn't you know I had to be about my Father's business? What the heck's wrong with you? Now this is definitely not in the Scriptures. I can just sort of hear Joseph said, son, don't give your mother any of your lip. We were very upset. We didn't know where you were. We love you. And then Jesus, responds this way. Typical parents, typical situation, and certainly not ideal. Well, that's sort of how I love the gospel, because it shows, as far as the humanity of Jesus and the humanity of Mary and Joseph. Jesus wasn't just this God who knew everything, but he was a young man here, 12 years old, in the temple, and being about that teenager. Very human. And so I see also Mary, the Immaculate Conception Mary, as very upset, mad. Why have you done this to us? I just find it to be very human, very like many of all the families out there. And I think it is good for us to realize that the presentations of the priests or the church or the Scriptures or even Jesus Christ always talks about idealism, what it ideally ought to be, but it isn't. Don't get too upset if we don't live up to the ideal. I don't think this is such a bad thing that Jesus wanders off on his own. I don't think it's such a bad thing that Mary's upset. Or Joseph says, don't give her any of your lip, son, or whatever. But it does say toward the end that Jesus grew in wisdom, in age, and grace. And I think all of us, not just parents, not just families, with all of our problems, we're called to grow in wisdom, age, and grace. If you listen to the message of this Messiah, Jesus the Messiah, I guarantee you're going to grow chronologically, but we're called to grow in wisdom and grace. The Messiah gives us insight into life, all life, human life, divine life, spiritual life, everyday life. I hope you have a good, holy, happy Family Sunday. Have a good day.